Crazy Cooter here, and Bandit, day before his 7th birthday. Was with the Soul Caboose here. Is built in March of 1929, and as you can see here by the builder's plate, 329. It's been rebuilt probably in the 70s and again in the 80s. And these particular bearings right here, these are called journal bearings. It's a journal box, basically. And what they do is they put some wadding, like cloth wadding, and it looked kind of like gauze pad. They put that in there and pour journal oil in there, and that was the only lubrication. They had to do this every so often. Usually like every crew change, they do that, but box cars and all the other stuff, they had the same type of bearings, and they were very well known for catching fire, what they call hot boxing, because they'd run out of oil or something like that. And so the bearing would get hot and cause a fire. And back then the box cars and stuff were made of wood, so they'd catch fire, they'd lose the car and all of its contents, so they started making them out of metal, and that's the reason why. And that metal lasts longer. And let's take a look inside here if we can. Looks pretty good in there. I see Santa Claus in there. I don't know if I can see him or not. And we'll check out the other side. That is the Missouri River right there. This is Washington, Missouri. I got pulled off here a couple nights ago. Well, actually, about 10 miles from here a couple nights ago. I got pulled off. Workers see me, pissed off the side of a train. Call it in, all that shit. And they were cool about it. They didn't get the cops involved. And, alright, let's get up here. So we got it all decorated. These are not pipe plants, I found out. There. Yep, there's Santa Claus. And you got 2 cots in here. I don't know if you can see that or not. There's one right there, one closer to the door. And the conductor would sit right there where Santa Claus is sitting. That's where he'd do his paperwork and all that stuff. And they had a 2-way radio in here. They can radio the locomotive, tell them, what's going on and all that. And the rear switchman and the rear brakeman would stay back here with the conductor. And the switchman would get out and throw the switch after the train went to the siding. And the brakeman would walk over cars. And back before the air brake, they had to do everything by hand. So they'd have a brakeman at the front and a brakeman at the back. They'd meet about midways. They start tightening down handbrakes on the cars. You don't see, if you go to a museum, you might see some of them that the handbrake is all the way up, at the top of the car. It's facing where you have to be on top of the car to tighten it. That's why. They'd walk the train. That's how they tighten down the brakes. When they go around a curve or something like that. And, the locomotive had brakes and the cars didn't. Not until a man named Westinghouse invented the air brake. And then they reinvented it back in, I think, the late 90s, to where they would do something different. Something with the, when they go to tighten down the handbrakes now, they have to put air through it, or release the air or something like that. Then tighten it down as extra security or something like that for the brakes. I'm not exactly 100% sure on it, but this is the old Washington, Missouri depot. This was the freight depot, I believe, because I think this was the passenger station, that right there. This was the freight station. And those of you who don't know the difference, back in the early days and stuff, like passenger trains would have a couple boxcars on, maybe. And what they would do is they drop the passengers off at the passenger station, then drop the boxcars up here on a different track, and then unload them. And you might have stuff coming in from Sears, new TV or something like that. That's where they drop it off at. Then a truck would come along, pick it up, deliver it to your house. And so they used to have, excuse me, Used to have another track right here, and that was a loading dock. It's all been tore down, but they'd back box car up right there to where those bay doors would open up, and they'd come in with a forklift or a fork truck or something, you know, or a dolly or something to unload it. And then they reload it or do whatever, send it on its way. And we got a pretty little spot right over here. I camped at the other night. It was right along the river. It wasn't too bad. It was further down that way, I believe. Yeah. They have spots like right here. You can set up. I've seen camper trailers set up here and stuff. This big beam berm, wherever the hell they call it, there in the middle, separates it. You can bring like your boat and get right up here next to the bank here. That way you're not out in the river itself. You know, we tugboat traffic can get through there. You don't see a lot of tugboats through here, but there are a few. There's a few of them that come through, mainly like local stuff like that. But St. Louis is that way, Kansas City's that way. And we're closer to St. Louis than we are Kansas City, but Jefferson City's the nearest crew change from here. Actually, St. Louis is the nearest crew change, but Jefferson City is about the same distance almost, about an hour and a half away. St. Louis is about an hour away, and by vehicle. And here on a little bit later, I'll show you some more stuff down the road here. Seeing this downtown area right here, the farmers market's right up there. Every weekend they'll have something going on. My friend Jan does tamales. She'll set up there on Saturdays and Friday or Saturday. I think it's Saturdays. She'll sit there from like 7 to 11 back in the summertime. I don't know if they do anything this time of year or not. It's probably too cold, but they may still do something. But anyway, that's all for now, and we'll see y'all there. All right, Crazy Cooter again. This is the passenger station. This is an old Missouri Pacific between Kansas City and St. Louis. It's been, what's the word, renovated. And let's see if we get a view of the tracks here. St. Louis is that way. Kansas City's that way. This is the Missouri River. I don't think we can walk out here, but I'm going to anyway. Right over there's a good little camp spot I found. And there's a few little places up here where you can set up your RV or your camper trailer or something, you know. You can even get mail out here. They got mailboxes everywhere. And it's not too bad of a little area right here. Real nice. People are kind of cool. And well, this here's the passenger station. It's Amtrak now. And they got a little small, very small. I mean, like, you know, walk in, look around, museum. That's it. They may have something more that I didn't see, but anyway, that's all for now.